Special guest on the Michael Irvin Show. 6 p.m. tonight, the TCU Coaches Show at the Railhead in Fort Worth. That's I-30 in Montgomery. Randy Galloway will be on right before that show. And who is the coach of TCU? Well, I'll tell you what. TCU is number 4 in the nation. They will play number 16, Utah. This man has won 4 conference titles, led TCU to at least 10 wins 5 times in the last 7 years, including 4 11-win campaigns in the past 6 seasons. We welcome to the Michael Irvin Show, Gary Patterson.
Hey, Coach Patterson, Andy Burrell, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing well, Coach. Hey, listen, when I was always playing for you, you always used to tell us, these big games will take care of themselves. Is that the same thing this week in this, big showdown with Utah and Fort Worth?
Yep, big games take care of themselves. We're going to have a big crowd that will help us, but, we've got to keep, smart teams win championships. So, I know there will be a lot of emotions part of this game, but we've got to be smart. We've got to be calculated, just like we played on the road up to this point, and and then let everything fall as it may.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach, listen, we know that you guys play tough defense. That's what you're known for. My mic on?
Yeah, you
okay.
talk on.
All right, yeah, sorry about that. We know you guys play tough defense. You got an offense that's going to pick you apart. Now, what makes this team so special? I mean, you guys, this is a different team. These guys are special. It's sitting at number 4 in the nation. What's that all about?
Well, for us, it's been a culmination. We went through a lot of growing pains, won a lot of football games. This senior class, if they could win out, would be the winningest class in 4 years ever in the history of the school. They'd have an opportunity to win 42, 43 ball games. Last year's group won 41. So they'd been here before. They were very close at Utah a year ago. But I think we matured out of that and showing in how we played against Boise State in the Poinsettia Bowl, and then going to Clemson in front of a packed house, going to BYU and Provo. Every time they've had a challenge, they've stepped up to the challenge, and the Utes tomorrow night will be no different.
We're talking to Coach Gary Patterson here on the Michael Irvin Show, head coach of the TCU Horned Frogs. 9th season, Coach. Thank you for joining the Michael Irvin Show, Coach. When you get ready to play such a nationally televised game, everybody tunes in to watch this game. How much added pressure is that for you in the TCU Horned Frogs?
I would suppose it would be this group, but this group has been really different. We had game day in Provo, and playing on the road, nobody yelling for us, and they handle it very well. I think it's been a very laid-back group, a group that's matured. So I would, if they do have a lot of pressure, they really haven't shown it very much because we went through practice as usual. They've gone about their business as usual, and up to this point, I've been very satisfied with their progress of how they're handling it. They haven't been too jittery. They've just kind of been a workmanlike manner, and the fans and everybody else. This is what game day and this kind of games for. Fort Worth, Metroplex. Everybody's really excited, and they should be. It's for them, but for us, we got to keep our noses down and get ready to go.
Gary Patterson on the Michael Irvin Show. 2 national championships way back, 1935, 1938 for TCU, but you're back up there near the top. And Gary, I'm fascinated by how you have built this program. Mm-hmm. What was the single most important issue when you went out to get players and build this program to the level that you have?
Well, for us, it's just not to take a back seat to anybody. One of the things that's really a positive is that you can get the whole experience. Not only can you play on a major college level of football, but you can get a great degree. I think Miami showed that in Florida, with 2 big public schools, Florida and Florida State, small private school of fighting through all that, believing in themselves and being something different. And that's what we've decided to do is our message is different. We're not going to be Texas or A&M, and nor do we want to be. We want to be TCU, a small and number as far as population, as far as the school is concerned, but big on a national scale of playing football, and be able to get, because of the small classroom size, both a degree and 5 bowl rings, and get a chance to win championships, play in bowl games, and someday maybe play for a national championship.
Coach, let me just say this now. Whenever you mention Miami, you pull me closer.
And big noon too, Coach.
I'm just telling you, Coach. Yes. That was a great pull in there.
Coach, tell me, this is Nate Noon anyway, we with Gary Patterson.
Thank you, Nate.
The great Gary Patterson. Hey, look here. Coach, this big noon, I'm gonna break this down. You take players and move them around at different positions. You recruit them at one position and you move them to another one, mainly to your defense. What started you to doing that? Is it the lack that you couldn't get the number one, number two recruit?
You know, in the early process, you know, we've made a living. You know, we've got some top 100 players in the state, but really, you know, Texas has close to 300 and 350 Division I signings a year, and really, we've made our living from 100 to 200. You know, things have changed the last 3 or 4 years. But, you know, that's what we've done. You know, I've always felt like, you know, if you could, you know, I coached at the Naval Academy. And if you could get the attitude like they do there, where you're, you know, whether at any at the academies, they're going to play for 60 minutes no matter what. And you could install and input better, you know, better athletes, skill position-wise, and give yourself a chance and be physical, that you could do that. And that's what we've had to do. We've had to move people around, find the best athletes. You know, you can't do it with your whole class. We try to do it with about 5 guys out of 20 or 25 that would give us a higher level of athlete, and then move him to a position if he'll do that, and give him a chance to play. And what I tell him is, hey, you're good at this, but you got a chance, I think, in my explanation, of being a great player at this other position. And we've been fortunate. We've been able to do that, and we've had luck. Andy
said that you didn't let him have a choice in his.
Andy said he wanted to be a quarterback. We moved him to safety right away.
Come on, Coach. Hey, Coach, listen, you talk about these guys being laid back and being, you know, a different kind of group that steps up. I don't think they're going to be too laid back this week wearing those new Nike Pro uniforms. How'd that opportunity come about?
It was really fortunate. Nike approached us last spring before the summer about being one of the 10 or 11 schools that they wanted to identify in big ball games to be able to, you know, match up, you know, the university and Nike and show off. And so this has been a process where they went back, they did research, you know, about the Horned Frog and all the history that's been behind TCU football, and we've kind of worked ourselves through the uniform of how we wanted it to look and how we would tell the story of the Horned Frog and TCU, and now that's kind of where we come to. It's, you know, it's supposed to be the lightest uniform out there. You know, the shoes are in the 9-ounce level all the way up to the way the pants have no seams in them. They're one unit. So it's a, you know, it's a fun thing that Phil Knight and Nike asked us to be a part of their program, and one of the 10 teams out of 85 that use Nike to be part of it and be able to show it off.
We're speaking to Coach Gary Patterson, head coach of TCU Horned Frogs. Coach, how would you use that and I know you're not thinking about it, I know you're thinking about Utah, but how do you use something like that in recruiting? When Nike comes and pick TCU as one of the teams in this country that they want to do this with, how do you use that in recruiting?
Remember what I tell all recruits, and then I tell my fans, you take it as a compliment. It shows that we have now entered a large stage, and we don't consider ourselves a non-qualifying school. We play on the level of the Big 12. We play against them. We recruit against them. The players that we have, we feel like, are at that level. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is to have humility in what you do. But you also, in this business, you have to have a little bit of confidence to be great. And, you know, we try to match both of those. So, you know, it's for our guys, it's not to take a backseat to anybody. You know, we want kids to leave here with humility and accountability, have their degree, and also be great football players. And if we're going to ask them to do it, then I have to do it myself. So I'm very honest in how we approach it. And just like I was very honest about the uniform, uniform doesn't have an S on it. So the only way that we win ball games against Utah tomorrow night is to make sure that we go out and play at the level we played all year, and know that if we do, then you know, then the uniform helps us a little bit, and we're going to have close to 400 recruits, whether they're seniors or juniors, are going to be in the stands watching the ball game. So between the ball game and the new uniforms, kids love new stuff. You know how it is. It's Christmas all the time.
Hey, Gary, we got about 10 seconds here. Gary, single most important issue in this game in order to win.
So one point, we've got to go down, and we've got to take our advantage and go forward.
All right. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, thank you, Coach.
Being on your show.
All right,
Coach,
Gary
we will
Patterson.
be calling you again. Just win this game, buddy.
All righty.
All right. Good luck, Coach.
Gary Patterson, a great head coach at TCU. He's turned it around.
And your Burrell, bring it in.
Back next on the Michael Irvin.
And to take a charge of this college game.